So today we're reviewing the DeathStalker. This is a base game schematic that can go on from any mission, llama, just kinda anywhere honestly. It's a very common weapon, but also a commonly overlooked weapon. Because it is a surgical assault rifle that's a scoped burst, basically you're meant to use this at a bit of distance and kind of just surgically pick off enemies, I think is a way to word it. I don't really know. Weird terming in my opinion, but point being, super precise, super accurate, and meant to just pick off faraway enemies. Like, let's say there's a chest in the distance and you want to get it, but it's surrounded by enemies. You can use, like, your shotgun, but you might destroy the chest, or you can use your rocket launcher, that might also destroy the chest. You can use the xenon bow, which they recently changed to be, like, super weak, which I don't really like, but point being, you know, you can use those, but you run the risk of destroying the chest, or you can use this and just pick off the enemies. Now, this weapon is also very similar to the triple tap. It's a burst scoped weapon that has good aim and range. And in the video, the triple tap video, I did mention this weapon and thought, oh, this might be good, which I hope it is. I'm going this a little bit blind. I do have some experience with the weapon, and the last time I tested it was like 2023. It's been a really long time, and I don't exactly remember if it was good or not, so let's show off the build that we'll be using with this weapon. Actually, before we do, here's the perks I'll be running. Just simple crit rating, crit damage, magazine size, and affliction. Just very simple for base game weapons, and of course it's like kind of the go-to you want to do. And this is the build I'll be using. Now, we are replacing one hero, and that's Star Spangled Jonesy. He's been replaced by Skull Trooper Ramirez, or whatever her name is. I think it's Skull Trooper Ramirez. Can I spectate you? Or not spectate, but can I inspect? The Skull Ranger Ramirez. There we go. But point being, she'll be making it so every time we reload, we do a bit more damage, which is super tasty. Now, for burst weapons, I usually don't use Star Spangled because simply due to the fact that you're bursting and you don't want to have, like, you know, one bullet left and then, you know, choose the one bullet. Like, having extra bullets with a burst weapon isn't usually that good. Now, we are running a magazine with it, though, but I think that does equal it out to, you know, have more bursts, not just more bullets. So, yeah. Now, like before, I said multiple times on the channel, this is just, of course, a super simple assault rifle build. I think I already said that, but I don't remember, honestly. So, I'm just going to say it here again, super simple. You can run this in multiple ways. You can run it with the skin I'm using, which is Urban Assault Headhunter. Basically, every time you do a headshot, it increases your fire rate and damage by a bit. So yeah, it's just not a really good one in my opinion. Something you don't usually want to go for. But since it is a surgical weapon and you're more than likely going to be aiming for the head, get the optimal damage, it could be good, but personally speaking, I'm not the best with headshots, so I will not be running her in this build. Anyways, let's get in game, let's craft it, and let's test this out. Alrighty, we are in game, so let's go craft ourselves a DeathStalker, yeah? So, there is no missions available, so I just loaded into a random one. I hope we get some teammates. Wait, what? Wait. I think I had Phil on. I hope I had Phil on. There might have been some missions. I might have just been really stupid with Phil off. But, point being, we got the weapon crafted, so let's just go show off its damage. Now, of course, it is burst, so you do have to tap it individually. Actually, no, you can hold it down. Oh, okay. So that is the difference between it and the triple tap, is that you can actually hold it down for it to get firing, which is fairly nice. So, you know, just kind of use it like that. Now, of course, you are meant to be a bit of a distance, I believe, when you're using this weapon, because it is a surgical weapon. So it means it's super precise, and it's kind of never really moving away from the center of your scope. Which means, honestly, you probably can run this with a headshot build, actually. Maybe I'll do that for the second match. Also, I hate these damn chickens. Also, I want to show off something. I've made a pinata little model for tonight's live stream, since we are doing a stream-a-thon of sorts of Viva Pinata, not Lost in Paradise, Trouble in Paradise, yeah. I was thinking of a different game for that for a second. Not a Viva Pinata game. Let me clarify that real quick. I wasn't thinking of Viva Pinata when I said Lost in Paradise. But point being, I got a little llama pinata thingy. I really like it. I think it turned out really well. Especially trying to come down with the design of a pinata. It's actually kind of hard. But point being, I think it turned out really well. And also, we do have a teammate now. So I didn't load into solos by mistake. So yeah. But for the rest of this video, I will be using the Scolipede, so let's go switch back to it. There we go, we're back to normal. But I hope to see you at Lane A with Creature, because we're going to be streaming for extra long. It's going to be going until morning, basically. It's going to be a super long live stream. But it should be a fun one, because I really like Viva Pinata. It's fun game. It's a fun game in my opinion. I made the Fortnite island in Viva Pinata. Chapter 1 Fortnite island in Viva Pinata on stream too. I stream on Twitch, link in description by the way. I hope it pops up, because I don't know if YouTube's okay with me linking stuff yet. Like, they're kind of pushy about that, but... Point being, there should be the link and it should work hopefully. I hope. And if it doesn't, you can find me on Twitch by Creature STW. It's the same as before, just because I'm quite the simple person. Now, we did save this survivor, which is super tasty. Now, I was able to use the surgical rifle for that because, well, he was about to die. But as you... Excuse me? Excuse me? What the... They're bulletproof! Wait, that guy's bulletproof. But as you can see, it has a good range, and its damage doesn't seem to drop off by that much. Now with a Husky Husk, of course, it'll be doing less damage, because, you know, it's quite the husky fella. Then we can just blow that guy up to clear out some more. But as you see, you can use it at a range, which is super good. And I'll go up close. Where'd it get thrown at? Oh, there's a crow. But as you can see, it's super tasty. Also, recently in the Fortnite item shop, they actually brought back the those little back blings. I didn't know they were rare until a friend of mine told me like they haven't been back for like 5 years. And I was like, backpacks? Backpacks are rare? I find that really stupid, but I decided to buy it because like I think it goes well with some of my skins, especially the one slasher back bling. It goes well with some of my green outfits, and so I bought all three in the bundle. I haven't found a good use for the vintage back bling backpack. I haven't found a good use for that one yet, but it looks good. I just might take a while. Hello, Pinata. Or Llama, whatever you want to call it. Pinata Llama. I used to think, back before I was even a Fortnite player, I used to think the pinatas in the game we opened were donkeys. But turns out they're llama. I didn't know that, I'll be dead honest, until I actually played Fortnite. And I went to the llama shop. I was like, whoa, they're llamas? Yeah, I always thought they were donkeys. Little fun fact moment. But we have more enemies, so let's pull out our surgical rifle, DeathStalker, and let's see if we can get this surgically cleaned. I don't know how to word it. I wanna do that cool wording thing where like they mention the weapon or weapon functionality in the thing they're doing. I just don't know how to really do it. But as you can see, it clears out the enemy very well. Clear out enemy very well. Very human design. But this is also very similar to the, I think, Tiger Jaw it's called? No, it's just the Tiger. It's a event schematic from the military set, and it's just a scoped assault rifle. A very loud one, may I add. But point being, both are very similar weapons, except this one is a burst, and it's base game, so it's actually more readily available. Now, the damage is actually doing a lot better than I was expecting, I'll be that honest. I thought this would be bumbling pretty badly. But it is absolutely doing fine. Oh. And also it does have this chance to actually stun enemies, so if there's like blasters or something in your way, and you need to clear them out to do something, it can work. And like the triple tap, you can, if you're far away, you can actually do the spread fire, and like hit multiple enemies with one burst, which is kind of hard to do when they're up close, admittedly. But point being, it is a very useful weapon, because, like, you know, it will clear out enemies, it does great damage. The only downside is that, you know, it's burst, and it's more of a far away type of enemy. It's got the nurse fairly well. And we have a Huskling encampment, so actually I'm just gonna do that. You know, I think we've gotten what I need to see, so let's just go into this real quick. Very tasty, very human. Well, there's 3 encampments next to each other. Wow, that's a lot of encampment. Oh my god. Oh, that's why I didn't notice, but we have a full team, so we're actually we're showing it off optimally. Now, I think I'm gonna see you if we see a smasher or or the mission starts, obviously. Because I think we've seen what we need to see so far, and it's very promising. Now there's my terrible aim coming in. But as you can see, very good weapon. Very similar to the triple tap, but yeah. Now we haven't found a smasher yet, but we do have a taker. So let's pop a wafer, and it's dead. Yep. And they're dead. They're dead. They're all being one tapped with the wafer. Forgot what it's called, honestly. I haven't been playing much Fortnite recently. Thus, you know, why the videos have been a bit on the low end. I've been taking a bit of a break. I know, a little crazy. The Save the World YouTuber is taking a break from the one game he actually does for his content. I know, crazy. But you know, I am streaming Viva Pinata Triple Paradise later tonight, and actually early morning. Yeah, it's gonna be a super long live stream. I'm taking a lot of coffee. But yeah, actually it did fairly well against a taker, so we just need to find a smasher or just wait for the mission to start. Alrighty, the mission has started, and we do have a bunch of enemies lined up. Well, we did. I can't really see them. But let's just go with our surgical rifle, and let's see what we can do. Now, this is healing death burst, so they're actually going to be healing themselves most of the time. Which isn't preferred. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bubble there. I didn't see it. Gotta love how the bad eyes slap. Gotta love how the bad eyes slap. We have a smasher, so let's go pop us into wafer. They absolutely missed that. Against smasher, that's 250. That's it's not that good. Ooh, that is that's a something. Not a smasher killer, I can say that much. Oh man. Let's go do that real quick. Now, okay, that's not the worst. Now then, we're meant to be using this a bit of a range. It's a surgical weapon. So let's just... Where's your hitbox? It's right there. Why is... Okay. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Are there any targets that are... Oh, there we go. You're smacking below us again. So let's pop a wafer. And yeah, see the healing death burst is just keeping it alive. But as you see, it's not doing that bad. Now there's a bit of traps and teammates helping out to kill it. But that wasn't the worst. That could have been a lot worse. So, not that bad. I don't know why I stopped moving there. Now, we do seem to have some proper usage of broadsides, except like that one right there. That's kind of it. Only one bad broadside. A lot better than what I've seen previously in videos, obviously. But, yeah. Let's just actually add a wall. And I won't be doing that. In the great hindsight of things. But actually it's not doing the best, but there's definitely a lot worse in the world like we're doing this. Oh, I shouldn't be singing. I should not be streaming in the middle of a video. Let me just break this. Fix that. I didn't mean to place that there, I'll admit. That was an error on my part. I was just kind of rushing, trying to fix the wall. But I fixed it. Alright. Honestly, the defense, it's a sum. Yeah, it's a sum. But I'll see you in the next part of the defense. Well, more specifically, I'll see you at the mini boss because I think we've seen what we need to see so far from this build, so we just need to see the mini boss now. Alrighty, we have a mini boss right below us, and we are having a couple of frame drops. This has been happening in the recent updates, where it just kind of has issues. I can't see the... Wait, no, the mini boss is down there. Oh, I thought... Oh, okay. So it is a melee mini boss, so we actually need to switch out one of our weapons for melee. Which stinks. Yeah, I can't really showcase a weapon when it's a melee mini boss. But it was tough to do. But, you know. A little stinky. I was hoping to show off the weapon with the mini boss. But as you see, it's not doing really any damage. You have to use melee for it. Since it's low screen, it's like doing like little of its damage against the new boss match. Which sucks. Really, really sucks. So I'll actually just see you in lobby. Alrighty, this is the build we'll be using for the headshots. Now, we are using the previously mentioned Urban Assault Headhunter, which just each headshot increases, you know, your damage, and then your fire rate by 9% for 2 seconds, stacks up to 5. Basically, the more headshots we do, the more damage we do, and the faster we do it. Very tasty, very good. Then we have Ow My Eye, which increases our headshot damage based on the percentage of our missing health by 50%. Very tasty, very good. And then we just have our previously two used heroes for our assault rifle damage increase. Super simple, and you know, the bare bones. But point being, this should help out with the headshots, since it is a surgical weapon and we're being super precise with it. I think I'm talking a bit too fast even for myself, that's why I was stuttering a bit. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you in game and let's test this out. Alrighty, we are in game. So let's see what we can do. Oh, and our teammates are actually talking about stuff. I'm guessing about the defense because that's, you know, what they're talking about. They're talking about metal resources and stuff. Now, of course, we are meant to be using... You fucking ass. We are meant to be using headshots in this build, so let's just get up a good distance and try to aim for the head. It'll make us fire faster, which does make it so we actually reload more, but that's not that bad. But if we just try to get headshots, which is being a little bit of a pain, since I'm being surrounded by multiple enemies, I don't really like that. But it should, you know, be doing more damage. Or at least for headshots. At least for headshots. This could probably work really well for a sniper rifle build, honestly. More preferably. Honestly, this with the triple tap might actually do good. But with this for the surgical rifle, probably won't be doing as good. But you see, if we get those headshots, we get that damage increase by the fire rate and just, you know, straight up damage increase. Which is fairly tasty. Now, I did switch to just, you know, being my commander outfit. That's mostly just because I felt like it. We're using the same skin anyway, so I just did my commander outfit. So, yeah. Let's go see if we can find some bigger targets. Or something interesting, I guess. So, yeah. We do have a tiny crowd across from us. Let's see if we can get those headshots in and get that fire rate bonus. As you can see, it's doing actually about the same as before. Very interesting. Now, I think with headshots, it is, of course, doing a bit faster, since we are trying to benefit from headshots. Only downside is Husklings exists, so unless they say more. But I keep I keep forgetting to actually hold down the button to fire. I keep tapping it individually. If we hit those headshots, it really goes up in fire rate, which is super tasty. Let's show this. Also, they're shielded. I think it counts as they hit enemies. We have more Husklings. Oh my god, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Leave me alone. Also, I think reloading does reset the fire rate perk, or not perk, but bonus. That is something. God, more Husklings! Leave me alone! I don't like you guys. You guys are evil. You're like zombies, but worse. Also, kind of funny. I saw something on the Reddit. You know, the Save the World Reddit. And it was comparing this to a different... It was comparing Save the World to, I think, one of those weird Metal Gear spin-off games. Where it's like, you know, zombie themed and stuff, and it was like, technically zombies, but no, that's not their name. But that's the thing though, these aren't zombies, they're husks. There's zombies, like zombies are canonical in the game. It's not like a spin-off of a zombie, it's two different separate things. Like, husks are storm-corrupted, like, I'm guessing people, or storm-corrupted beings. Or like entities, I hate saying that word. And then there's the zombie chickens, which are just, you know, reanimated undead. Like, there's a difference. They are two different things. Thematically, very similar, but very different. Because, you know, it ain't like you get bit by a husk and you turn into a husk. You know, you have to get, you know, you get lost in the storm and then you get corrupted by it and then you turn into a husk. Like, two different things. Very similar, yes, but not, you know, similar in the sense of like they're the same exact thing. And plus, I'm pretty sure the zombies are like a million times more vicious, like zombie chickens. They're just way more vicious. But as you can see, the weapon farming about the same as before, actually. So I don't think we're getting as much of a difference with the headshot build, funnily enough. I think the headshot build is more or less equaling out, which is really funny, if true. Because it feels the exact same. Feels like there is no difference between me running with a normal assault rifle build and running it with this. So yeah, oh, you fucking ass. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I hit that. I hit that. Now you see the assault rifle is performing the same as before. Nothing really that special, honestly, with the swap out of the headshot build. But it is fairly easy to hit the headshots with this weapon, since it is, you know, a surgical weapon. Ooh, I keep saying it like 100 times. Very similar. Very, very similar to, you know, the Tiger, the triple tap, stuff on the point. Honestly. But, you know, it does have the benefit of being just able to hold it down and fire. Also getting bonuses from assault rifle heroes, which means you can use it with Star Spangled Jones if you want to, but since it's first, I don't suggest it, honestly. But the weapon isn't that bad. So, yeah, I think I'll just cut away if we get a smasher or we get the defense started, because yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. So I'll see you then. Alrighty, so the mission defense has started, and there isn't really much to say between the two builds. It feels the exact same as before. And honestly, the difference between the weapon and the weapon build between previously and before, well, not previously and before, that's the same thing. Well, the difference between now and then is really nothing. I guess if you hit your headshots, you do fire a little faster, which could feel good for the weapon use. But honestly, it doesn't feel as much of a trade-off as before. Like, I think we would have a very similar situation. Now, if you do hit your headshots and you get your damage in, it will actually take down enemies fairly quicker, I've noticed. You know, it did fairly well against that Husky there, which is fairly good. And if there's a bubble, first just go in the rocket launcher and just go in the bubble. Fairly simple, fairly good. But there isn't really much to say now, since we have basically covered all bases of the weapon. So I'll see you at the mini-boss. So, yeah. Alright, this is a little bit of a cut-in section right here, but we found a smasher in the wild, actually. Now, we didn't find one last match, and we're getting fucked with by a boar gun. Really annoying. But as you see, it does fairly well. It's, doing a lot better against a 160 smasher, so if you're doing this if you're using this in 144 zone or lower, it will actually do fairly well against them. But against a 250 smasher, it doesn't seem to be doing all that well, so yeah. Alright, we have our mini boss, and it's not a melee one, so we can actually use the weapon against it, which is very nice. Now, as you can see, compared to the 250 smashers, it's not going to do much against one. Now, it's not doing the worst. There could have been absolutely worse. But it's definitely still not the best option. Of course, there's the three main boss weapons, the Huskbuster, the Pot Shot, and the Ravager. You know, all used for their separate cases, depending on the situation. But they all, those will do better for mini-bosses. You should never really ever be using a AR against a mini-boss, in my opinion. You should be using one of the three mini-boss killer weapons. There's more weapons that can do the job, like the other shotgun. I forget its name. Honestly, shotguns will actually most of the time do the job. Shotguns are just super strong, so they'll do the job. But yeah, that's kind of it for this part of the review. So I'll see you in lobby for the final analysis. So, would I suggest the DeathStalker assault rifle as a primary weapon in Fortnite Save the World? Depends on how you play and if you play it good, because it can absolutely work as a primary weapon. It's just, it's a bit on the weaker side, so you might want to use it, you know, as your primary, but with something stronger in the support, like a bazooka, sword, whatever. Basically, you don't want to primarily, you can use this as a primary, you don't want to lean onto it all the time. You're going to want to switch out to different things depending on the situation, because if you only lean on this weapon, it's not going to do good. It's good, it kills, it does great. It's just the only downside is that you know, against everything else, it will struggle a bit, and you need help clearing that out. So, you know, you don't want to lean on it all the time. It's not like, you know, the Turncoat, where depending on the situation, you can lean on it fully and just not use an alternative at all. But, you know, with this, you're going to want something else to help out with it, like a bazooka, like I said, or, you know, something alike, you know, you help. Use the triple tap, have double bursts, you know. Both are really good, both really strong, and both are bursts. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.